Oh, forgive me, Schmutzy, for I have sinned. Been like, 4 years since my last confession, you remember? Yeah. When Aunt Linda came to town. Chill. One-time thing, I think. Maybe, I don't know. Was I too harsh on Fritz? Yeah, but, in the belly, it's like... it could be anything. Probably missed some vital organs. I actually aimed for his appendix, so... And you don't need that thing. The head's got a bone helmet! How was I supposed to know he had a jelly skull? It felt like stabbing a cup of fucking pudding, It was so easy. Horrible. Alright, get that back!
It's gonna be okay, Fritz. It's gonna be fine, man. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna cross over. You're gonna cross over from this life into another one. I mean, it's all gonna be fine.
No,
it's gonna be
fuck
great.
that.
Why? No. Come on, man. Come on. Just deep breathe in and accept it. Accept all that is coming your way.
Oh no.
It is a lot.
I've never wrestled.
Well, that's probably a good thing.
Professionally. I never put one over the Green Monster. That's in Boston.
That's true. You could give it a try, though. Maybe, in your dreams. Probably.
Never got to meet John Lithgow. I hear he's
a
racist.
Yeah, he's a little racist. You don't want to meet him. There are a lot of issues with that guy. I just, he's done some good work, but at the end of the day, you got to be careful.
He's got a good handshake.
Yeah, that's true.
Enough about John Lithgow. Fine.
Why?
Yes.
The guy. I mean, he is a national treasure.
Ow, my head.
Stop talking. Focus on being alive and making your blood stay in your body because you're not doing that right now.
He's not doing it very well. He's not doing a good job.
Don't clot. Don't. Oh God, he's doing the Lamaze breaths.
Somebody put. You have a bunch of baby nurses around here, so they like hearing that. So they might jump right back into your colon or something, and they hear that. You be careful.
That's not where babies come from.
Well, he doesn't have a uterus, so they're going to look for something.
In the colon, though.
No, that's where just nice and warm.
Ow, my head.
Well, just let it go. Just you had a great run. You've gotten a bunch of head stabbing in. You've been stabbed in your head way more times than most people have this time in their life.
We need bandages. We need to patch him up. What do you stop?
You have socks. Take your socks off.
Okay, yes, socks.
Put it in there. Put it in the head wound.
I don't think socks are going to do it.
Not in the head wound.
You're going to need like an entire robe to wrap around his head, like entire mountain of gauze.
This is terrifying.
Blood is just flying out of his body. It's just I don't even know how he has this much blood at this point. He should be shorter. He technically should be shorter by the amount of blood he's lost.
Where are we going?
You're going somewhere else. You're going somewhere else, buddy.
Oh God, no!
And let life flow out of you.
What do you
let
do?
life flow out of you.
Stop!
Why?
He's young. He's a young man with treatable wounds.
He's not that young.
He's not that young, but he's young enough. We can save him. It's not stop. What are you doing?
Because I mean, I know he cares about the planet, and therefore it's time for him to leave it. It's just
what does that even mean? Dude?
Because there's way too many people. There, the planet is just a complete mishmash.
Oh, now
humans.
Is when you pull this stuff up.
I've always cared about the planet.
Our friend is dying on and now the planet's a concern.
And I'm glad that he's making the choice to help the planet by
How
leaving it.
How many natty ice cans have you just left scattered in our wake, all over the environment?
Everyone knows natty ice cans are used by animals to create structures, okay? The largest dam in the world in Canada is made out of natty ice cans. You can see it from space. Come on.
Word up, Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, word up, man. But look, he wants to help the planet. He's a good guy. He wants to save the world. I mean, obviously, haven't you ever heard of the Church of Euthanasia?
Oh, it's a good Megadeth album.
There is no good Megadeth albums after the 80s. After the 80s. After the 80s.
Count it!
Damn.
Where is Angela? Is she dead?
Deep, dark. She's fighting. I think the thing we left her with the other Angela. She's fighting.
They're fighting?
Presumably, yeah.
Well,
we had to get you out of there. You're in no
like
position to fight, and neither are we. Even in the best of circumstances, but.
Here we go. Strap the fuck in. There are many churches throughout the world. For the most part, these are safe havens, places of worship where people find solace and comfort from the pressures of modern living. And they tend to be a bright, positive place in people's lives. But then, there's this one church that's a little different. A church that loves our planet and firmly believes it would be a better place without any of us in it. And it's the Church of Euthanasia.
Good name.
I know. At least it's right there. It's right there in the name. They're not sugarcoating anything.
When I was a kid, I thought the youth in Asia were a major problem.
There's so many
they're
youth in
killing
Asia.
so many cats, and dogs. It's terrible. The youth in Asia, what are they doing?
So, formed in 1992 in Boston, Massachusetts by Reverend Chris Korda and Pastor Kim, also known as Robert Kimberk, they claim to be, quote, a non-profit educational foundation devoted to restoring balance between humans and the remaining species on Earth. Which sounds okay. Sounds good.
That sounds good, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's all there.
Balance.
until you learn that they believe the only way to achieve this is through a massive voluntary depopulation.
Voluntary depopulation.
Yeah, they're not going out there killing people. They just have one number one motto, and that is save the planet, kill yourself.
I kind of like
I mean,
it.
the planet's going to be here anyway, though,
Right. Yeah, people talk about saving the planet.
In some capacity, right? Like, maybe the
it'll
rock
shrug
will
us
still
off.
be here.
No, it'll shrug us off, and then it'll change the whole pattern, and then it'll grow, and there'll be a whole nother species to come. Now, available on their websites is a bumper sticker, and they have other fun bumper stickers available, such as "Eat people, not animals."
I thought you were just going to say, kill yourself.
No, they do have one that says, I think so.
Oh, my
They have
God.
one that says, "Thank you for not breeding." Bumper sticker that says, "Tool-wielding ape on board."
All right.
Another one says, "Driving drunk? Take off your seatbelt."
Wow.
Yeah. You see, the church has one commandment, and that commandment is thou shalt not procreate. That's it. Just don't make no more of you.
All right.
And it has four main pillars of belief. They are abortion, cannibalism,
Okay.
sodomy, and of course, suicide.
Why sodomy? But
Because they could.
Wow.
That's what. Now it's
because
not
of
that
the
bad.
procreation thing?
They-
Yeah, but what about pulling out?
They haven't heard of condoms?
well, here it is.
Thank you. We've got two right off the bat that we can add to that.
Well, that
Well,
it
they're
goes
only
with.
99.9% effective.
That's
There you
true.
go.
There's
There you go.
plenty
You still make
so
mistakes.
far. It's
Things
fine.
happen. Trust me. I've met several of them. Now, now they only endorse cannibalism of already dead people. So it's not bad.
So that's
they're-
ghoul.
Cool.
Is to be a ghoul is to eat the flesh of a dead. That's what
it's
that is. Right?
ghoulish. I don't know. Or it could be goulash if you do it right.
Enough paprika,
if it's
baby.
if it's Hungarian.
Yep.
Yeah.
Slap some paprika on that corpse, and we got some goulash.
Yeah.
Goulash. There's some goulash.
Peppers and onions is all you need, man.
That's it. Now, they consider sodomy any sexual act not intended for procreation.
Okay.
So they're not monsters. They just have some different ideas. Now, to see them in action, check out the YouTube clip of them on a 1995 edition of Jerry Springer, which is still on the air.
I know.
No.
It's still
Really?
on
Yeah.
the air.
How many
Nice.
seasons?
8 million. I don't know. I think
Jerry.
it's been there.
Too many.
Oh.
You know what?
And
We
it's
should
still-
interview him. We should get Jerry Springer on.
That
and talk
would
to
be
him.
amazing.
Right?
He's a nice dude.
Now, the episode was entitled, "I Want to Join a Suicide Cult." It's fun. Now, they also gained attention after the 9/11 attacks by releasing a music video called "I Like to Watch."
That's not. That's
It was
kinda not
very
cool.
bad. It featured footage of the planes hitting the towers, along with footage of a man masturbating and cleaning up with an American flag.
Yeah, that's kind of not cool.
So can I just say
Whoa.
this? Too soon on that one.
That's-
Usually when people
yeah.
say too soon, it's like not
That's-
funny. It's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, like
That's-
almost
That's too soon.
3,000 people
Wow.
died. Yeah, that's kind of.
Yeah, they did it like
Not
right
really.
after. They did this like a few days or a few weeks after.
Get out.
Early internet troll stuff.
They really
Very
on it.
very edgy guys. Well done.
Edge,
yeah.
edgelords upon edgelords.
Totally.
Now, when describing the video, Corda said, "Politically, it felt good to see Americans dying for a change. There was a sense of justice, of the chickens coming home to roost," she said. In gender terms, the huge gash made by the planes was obviously female. I had witnessed a Freudian drama on a national scale. America's penis had been turned into a vagina. That's what you saw. That's what you saw when that happened. That was,
Interesting.
yeah. Some
Interesting.
people just really have some issues.
Definitely projecting on. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people try really hard
Yeah,
to
and-
try to make their point. The Church of Euthanasia, you say.
That's what they do. In 2003, sections of their website were removed that contained instructions on how to kill yourself after a 50-year-old woman used them. She was found dead with printed out sections of the website.
You know what? That's a public service. Botched suicides are a thing, man, and then that's not like it's not a life you want to live. Even if you didn't want to live your original life, you definitely don't want to live that life.
Their website also still has information for emergency contraception with the quote, "Hurry, you've got 72 hours."
Nice.
Now,
Wow.
Again, another public
Yeah,
service.
they're just trying to help. Now, the welcome
Why
sta-
72 hours? Is
That's
that
how
how
long-
long
Yeah,
the
it's-
sperm takes to
You gotta
get
get that
to the
plan.
egg?
You gotta get plan
Yeah, with
B
the
and then
plan B.
Oh, plan B, gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, the welcome statement on the page is, quote, "If you've visited us before, here's what new. If you haven't, try starting here. But if you encounter things that shock or offend you, don't complain to us because you have been warned." So just stay away. Just stay away. There's some horrible things on there. I mean, if you want to see some messed up stuff, like back in the day with rotten.com and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Bestgore.com.
I saw some stuff on rotten.com that is still stuck with me. Now,
Yes.
other sources on their site include the Unabomber's Manifesto,
All right.
e-sermons on suicide,
E-sermons? What's the
Yeah.
difference
Okay.
between an e-sermon and a sermon?
It's electronic.
It's electronic, yeah.
well, yeah, but
It's just one you can download.
like a pod sermon.
Yeah, pod sermon.
All right.
It has fun facts about human flesh, mostly from a book called Diet for a New America, a guide for butchering the human body for consumption. This is a step-by-step guide on how to break down the human body from the full figure into serviceable choice cuts of meat.
Wow.
Quote, unquote. Now, there's also a section called The Case Against Babies.
God.
It just keeps
Damn,
getting
Wow.
better.
I like it.
This is heartless stuff.
It is. And a personal fave, The Scum Society for Cutting Up Men.
Oh, yeah, no, there's a thing with that.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
Scum It has the Scum Manifesto.
Yep.
Now, Valerie Solanalis explains why males should go off to the nearest friendly suicide center where they'll be quietly, quickly, and painlessly gassed to death. He's not a fan of dudes.
Well, like,
Let me-
why
who
are we
is,
why
really?
singling out dudes at this point? Like, I thought we were talking about all of humanity and like.
Well, this
Just
is
dudes gotta go?
Well, this is different. This is from Scum. That was from
Oh,
Scum,
yeah,
their
yeah,
manifesto. So it's just something that they're relating to, not actually part of their personal manifesto. Now, according to Corda, the inspiration for the church came to her in a dream. She was, quote, confronted by an alien intelligence known as the Being, who speaks for the inhabitants of Earth in other dimensions. The Being warned that our planet's ecosystem is failing and that our leaders deny this, which is true.
Okay. Yeah.
The Being asked why our leaders lie to us and why so many of us believe these lies. That's something I'd like to know. I'd really
Yeah.
like to know. Now, and the thread continues as certain world leaders continue to lie about the threat of global warming. And in 1994, the church was recognized by the state of Delaware as a church and received tax-exempt status.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
And in
Work the man.
Yeah, they got it.
How can we do that here at Fort Fritz?
Ooh, the Church of Fort Fritz. Ooh, the Church of You. We could do Church
Cult
of
of
You.
You.
Cult
Cult
of
of You.
You.
Yeah.
Not the Cult
No,
of You.
we
Stop.
church.
The Church of You.
Okay.
You could change most church to cult, and it's really interchangeable.
Bleep that out. Bleep that out.
The universe.
Dump it.
In
The
ni-
universe.
The
Nice.
universe.
In 1995, they began their full-on support of suicide by purchasing a billboard with a 1-900 suicide assistance hotline.
There was a 900 you had to pay to
Yeah, you had to pay, which is kind of whack. That really is. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I'd like to kill myself, but I don't have 50 cents.
call collect.
It had the message, helping you every step of the way. Thousands have been helped. How about you? Just creepy. Now, the phone company never actually activated the line. Now, remember, to become a saint in the church, all you have to do is kill yourself. That's it. If you're a member of the church, kill yourself, congratulations, you're now a saint. You don't get any recognition or a certificate. They just say, yeah, you're a saint now.
Doesn't matter who you were in your life.
Nope, doesn't matter. Just as long as you killed yourself to
You don't
save
even
the
get like
planet.
a painting or a statue or anything. Like
No.
I'm not
Like a Subway
canonized?
gift card or
Yeah.
something, you know?
I mean, I can see parallels with different Middle Eastern religions
Well, yeah,
that
it's just
kind of make you into a
martyrdom,
martyr.
right?
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep. But they have only saints that are recognized on their site are Jack Kevorkian and Margaret Sanger, the founder of the American Birth Movement. So those are the only people that they consider saints, is Jack Kevorkian and the person that brought the idea of abortion around.
Was Margaret Sanger the one who did birth control? She
Yeah.
was a birth control advocate.
Yeah. In 1997, they formed a fake group called the Boston Fertility Task
That
Force.
just sounds like a nerd patrol.
Bunch of incels running around. The organization was described by a documentarian thusly. They proceeded to use it to draw real pro-life protesters out to a completely invented protest of fetal trafficking at a sperm bank in Boston. They also put up posters around the town claiming that Courtney Love would be at the sperm bank to be inseminated on the day of the protest.
What?
Yeah, and they showed up to find nuns with their rosary beads and teens waiting outside to see Courtney Love, and then at which point they unveiled a 2-story tall penis puppet that ran through traffic towards the building and ejaculated pseudosperm in front of the building.
Wow.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
like these dudes.
yeah, they got it going on.
That's weird.
Their last,
That is very weird.
very weird.
Okay, these guys rule.
I'm digging their groove.
See what you say about Courtney Love. She doesn't deserve that.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe there's stuff.
Now, their last public appearance took place at the Boston Bio 2000 conference, where they carried a banner that said, "Human extinction while we still can."
Nice.
Gonna get there eventually. Like,
Yeah.
That's quirky.
It
Hook or
is.
crook, yeah.
Now, Corda said that their demonstration got shut down and the group was beaten pretty badly by who they claimed were leftists. She said, what we were doing was extremely dangerous. I got tired not just of the hate and the death threats, of which I have boxes, but I got tired of nearly being beaten to death. But come on, you want to die? A lot of these actions took place in the street. Yeah, be a saint, die. And by the time the police showed up, they were happy. We were happy to see them. Usually by the point we were just about to go to the hospital. It's fair to say that most of the formidable opposition didn't come from Christians, whether they be of the Catholic or Baptist variety, but from leftists, because they believe in direct action. They don't like the police. They'd much rather beat us up. You can imagine why we might get tired of that.
There's a lot of generalizations in there.
Who doesn't mind getting beaten up all the time?
Exactly. Like you're espousing like murder and death and like mass, suicide. Like you can't just get beat to death in the street over your own cause. Like,
come on.
I thought this was America.
Puss. Don't puss out now.
Now, to this day, the church's website is still active. Its tax status lapsed because they actually had no money coming in. And Corda is still available to discuss her anti-humanism manifesto. So while most churches claim to be bastions of light and exist to lift up life and the human spirit, one church exists in the hope that humanity will voluntarily end itself. And that's the Church of Euthanasia.
That's a crazy story about churches.
Churches. All churches are kind of wacky in their own way, but they really take the wackiness to the next level.
Definitely the first church I've heard of that like really got in like penis puppetry. And,
yeah, really.
Not a lot of penis puppetry. Early Renaissance time.
Those guys went full church. They went like 100% church on that one.
Well, that's the thing. Every church has its own tenets, and most churches wouldn't work if you weren't brought up in it when you're a child. With most churches, if you're introduced to it when you're 23, you'd be like, okay, you eat what, and it becomes what, and now you're drinking what, and it becomes what? That doesn't make sense. If you tell that to a kid, they're like, all right, whatever, Dad.
Yeah.
Eat the cracker. So you see, the church makes me think that it's time for him to go. It's time for Fritz. Fritz has done a great job. He's gotten stabbed a lot. He's had his legs eaten by a plant.
Well, then why don't you kill yourself right next to him, lay down, and...
It's not my time, dude.
What do you mean?
It's not my time.
I think it is your time.
Well, that's up to you to decide. If you want, you want to bring it, we can go. We can go round and around, buddy. You want to go
the door's opening.
What? Oh my God! Angela!
What? Why you guys being a bunch of pussies?
Look at you!
What is in your what do you have in your hands? What's going on? Oh my God!
Is
it you? It's you in your hands. Well, how do you?
How do you have your own head in your own hands? And it's all cut off.
And there's also one on your head too. Like,
hey, Angela's.
Gross.
Wow, you're really easy with this.
I like your new nails.
Thank you, Fritz. I appreciate that.
They're not really. They're not really
like,
colored. That's just blood, right? That's not. You didn't get your nails did. You got your nails covered in blood.
This is very bloody.
Probably scalpels or.
No, who was that?
Yeah.
I mean, which you was that? I don't know. What's going on anymore?
Me neither. I can't pay attention.
Just killing people. Why do you have knives on your hands? You have knife hands.
Oh.
They're just nails.
Yeah.
You got nails, you got knives. What's going on? What have you been doing? Why are we going on? Is he going to die? Did you just kill someone? Are we all going to die? What's going on? Yeah, I know. It hurts a lot.
Shumenzi kind of taught me this. It's like I just put scalpels on my nails. It's like
a
and then you kill?
There's like a weird like Master Splinter type of situation
With
happening.
A cat?
Well, yeah.
I mean, Schmutzy's pretty wily.
But why? I don't understand anything going on.
She was battling the other animal.
Oh, that's right. She was battling like there's a whole bunch of other animals.
Ran in fear like cowards.
Yeah, that's what we do. That math checks out.
Now clearly she has emerged victorious.
Well,
once again.
Well, actually, one time, Schmutz and I were just home alone at the house, and we thought we heard something outside, and I just taped a bunch of knives to my hands like her, and we were gonna like fight together.
That's smart. That's smart.
That's really awesome. That's really
actually
cool.
where I learned it. I had a split second to tape all these scalpels to my hands because, well, I've been practicing.
Very efficient. Very efficient.
Gotta be quick at that.
Sometimes you have to plan. You never know what's gonna happen to you. Bitch came at my face. She got a little spicy. I didn't like it. And the scalpels went like right in her eye.
Oh!
Like her left one.
All of them?
Like this one hand went like all the way in there.
Into the
and then I spread it. And then I just kind of like scratched her throat a little bit.
Ooh, just a little bit.
It was really bloody.
A little bit all the way
playfully.
through the neck so that it's no longer attached to the body anymore, clearly.
No, I had kind of like a really creepy like Freddy Krueger moment. Like I played it out.
You're feeling it.
That's
I'll
outstanding.
be honest, you guys, it kind of disturbed myself.
Seems kind of rocking, actually. I think it's good. I want to be you.
Okay.
It's pretty gross.
Why, you want to kill women?
Actually, I kind of got the idea from something I heard of once.
What's that?
Have you guys ever heard of the Leopard Society?
No, sounds exotic.
Sounds frisky.
Like a society of big cats?
Yeah, just big old
cats hanging out.
There you go,
louder?
little cats.
Making a
just
society.
lounging,
Chilling.
Doing what cats
eating
do.
things, doing nothing.
Scratching stuff.
Killing.
A lot of killing.
Sleeping.
A lot of
Sounds like the life. Lounging, sleeping, killing stuff. Like, I kind of want to be a part of this society. All right, tell me more.
So the Leopard Society, also known as the Ekpi or the Enyoto or Enyota, lots of different ways to say it or spell it, was the oldest of river societies in West Africa, in the ancient Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Liberia, and the Sierra Leone. So the society was believed to develop around like 1700. So way back then, this was this all-male warrior group.
Oh.
And that's all it was at first. This group of guys, or these warriors, and they existed to protect their societies in the late hours of the night from sudden attacks. So they're the people that just stayed up all night.
Graveyard
protected.
shift.
The night
Yes.
shift, exactly.
Yeah.
The watch.
However, I think that made them a little nuts because about 100 years later, they became this highly feared and respected group that was practicing cannibalism.
Nice.
Oh, okay. I see a thread.
Yeah. So they kind of identified themselves as this like secret society cult. And this human eating group has its place in history as one of the oldest and most elusive man-hunting cults to exist throughout Africa.
Hunting
Yes.
cult.
Yeah.
It's Manhunter.
Hunting.
Watch out, dude. They'll chew you up.
I mean, it's pretty terrifying
To be eaten.
to just think about this like
A
cult is
group
out
of
there
people
that
hunting men.
hunting
Yeah.
men.
Yeah, with like binoculars, and they're like, "How does he look?" "Oh, we're gonna eat that ass."
Yeah.
The most dangerous game, man.
Man's ass.
It's gamey. Oh, it's
Oh,
gamey.
yeah, it's got some fucking funk to
Yeah,
it.
it's got a kick.
However, they did have some like usefulness, not just being scary.
The man's ass.
Yeah, the eating ass thing.
Things you thought you'd never say on a microphone.
Oh, that's great.
So they took up the responsibility of killing Westerners and slave traders. So people
Nice.
are going to Africa to steal people in the night. All these white people. This tribe was like, no, I
They
guess
poached the poacher.
we're just going to go eat them now.
That's
That's awesome.
So when these slave traders would come, they'd go in the early hours of the night. They'd go into villages while people were sleeping and just try to steal people and kidnap them. This tribe was basically, the Leopard Society's like, well, this is going to be our reason for existence now. We're going to stop eating everyone on our continent and just eat the people that are trying to steal everyone from our continent.
yes.
So their reason for existence was to kill and devour human flesh in an attempt to secure wealth and dominance in their respective societies. So then they just became totally feared and
And a gang.
respected, but so they were protecting people around them, but also they would probably eat them too. So as long as
It's a give take.
it's a weird situation if people are coming in and you're not being eaten now because there are people coming in that are trying to steal you. So it's like you either are being eaten by somebody or you're being stolen to be a slave.
Sounds
Yeah.
pretty bad.
So
yeah.
it's not
Like,
really
not exactly
a great
comforting.
situation.
And
yeah.
is it respect or is that fear?
That's total fear.
Yeah, it is fear. I think they're respected in a feared way.
Yeah.
So, if you're wondering why they are called the Leopard Society,
Yes.
they would disguise themselves as real leopards. They would dress in leopard skin,
Oh, okay.
head to toe, and then they would hold claw-like weapons. So think like Wolverine. So they'd be holding these weapons in their hands like claws, and they'd be wearing leopard skin over
Oh
them.
my god.
Yeah, that's frightening.
That's
That's
pretty
just,
terrifying.
I mean, you gotta think
Pretty
about
terrifying,
that
yeah.
they had a
Yeah.
meeting. You know, that
Yeah.
they had a meeting, like sitting around, hey man, let's
What should we do? Swords? Bow and arrow? Nah.
You know,
Claw hand.
Yeah.
And I look dope in a leopard print. So
You do.
we can incorporate this.
You would look really good.
Leopard
Yeah.
print.
Yeah.
Leopard print man,
Yeah.
daddy.
All about it.
You're like
Make this
80s.
happen.
You're like 80s stripper hot when you put it on.
I know, I am.
Leopard daddy.
Just hear like
Leopard daddy.
leopards.
To the main stage, Leopard Daddy.
Yikes.
Yikes.
So just so you know, I'm pretty sure they got the whole leopard thing is the fact that the leopard is a powerful totem that is
Yeah.
believed to be a guide to guide the spirits of the dead to rest. So I guess they were kind of thinking we're going to dress like leopards and then help people
Guide
these people to death
racist
by just
white slavers
Yeah.
to their final resting place in my belly.
After I eat them and kill them.
So they attacked both foreign and local men or women, butchering them until their victims died. Once dead, the body of the victim would just be torn apart. The blood would be drained for ritual purposes. The vital organs would be kept for the same reasons, and then they would just feast on the remains of their victims.
So we're talking muscle, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just eating the
Use
muscle?
every part of the buffalo type stuff, right? Like, we're going to kill them. Like, might as well, like...
The
get some
tasty part.
Yeah.
Nutrition out of this.
Yeah.
They traveled in groups of like 4 to 6 in search of their prey. And they had this belief that the ritual cannibalism strengthened them and their tribesmen. The blood and body organs of the victims were used to appease evil spirits, cure illnesses, prevent poverty and spiritual attacks. They would drink leftover blood. They thought that would make them stronger going into their next hunt. So they just like hype themselves up by drinking blood. And
It's like the
going out.
Wendigo thing, right?
Can I say, drinking blood is one thing. When you drink leftover blood,
Yeah, leftover
it's
blood specifically.
got a little thicker.
Yeah,
It's
look.
got to be a little chunkier.
Depends on how you store
It
it.
sticks to your teeth a little bit like...
Are they like making it in blood pudding or something like that? Because I can see that kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
You
are
just
they,
kind of choke it down. It's like cottage cheese, almost.
Yeah.
they're doing like the leopard cult chopped edition. You know, okay, we got the blood of the white dude and some
If you leave
gourds.
it out, does it just have like a little film on top?
Little
that, like,
skim,
yeah.
yeah.
You got to
Skim
peel
it.
that off, yeah. Unless you put you got to get the wax paper right down on top of it, like
Yeah.
guacamole, right? Like no actual air touches it. It's oxidation.
Add little like
Oh, yeah,
lime
good
to it
point.
and freshen it up.
Thank you, exactly.
Yeah.
You
Someone starts chugging it. They're like, aren't I lucky? I got a crunchy bit.
That was disgusting.
That's
That
actually
was Mandela.
Yeah.
that's actually a line from Dead Alive.
So they believe that this magical elixir, so I'm guessing this leftover blood was some magical elixir as Borfima. That was the name of it.
That's a cool name. I will say.
Morphema?
Yeah.
Good band name.
They would brew it from their victims' intestines.
Ugh.
The poop house.
Yeah.
The old poop shoot.
Yeah. Poop elixir.
Right in this spaghetti house.
Yeah. And they thought that would give them superhuman powers and enable them to transform themselves into the leopard. So this kind of just got them in like their method acting. Like,
Yeah.
just like eat like intestines and drink blood and be like, I'm a leopard now.
I'm a leopard. Meow. He's doing it, guys. He's turning.
Sure you are, son. Sure you are.
Tried to do that like cat, like whatever.
Yeah. Dude, big cats are terrifying. With that growl that they do, it's like, oh
I'll
god.
mess you up, man.
How do you even do that? Try it out.
I think you need a cat trachea.
You do the what?
Do that. The cat.
That was pretty close. You got the
Yeah,
close.
that was good.
That was good. Mine was very whispery.
Wow.
Like coy.
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson,
Wow,
exactly.
wow.
Owen Wilson and the Leopard Society.
Oh, shit. This is one of my
Pretty good.
favorite stories I've ever heard on Fort Fritz. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
It helps if I haven't read it in a long time, so it's like new information to me all over again.
It's all fresh.
Fucking hell.
Oh my god. Sorry. Several men have been killed and hanged after being exposed to be part of the Leopard Society. So once people started catching on, they're like, no, all right, we can't. This
We gotta
is
get
too
rid of these
much.
dudes.
You guys
This is
gotta
too much.
Be cool about it.
Cannot allow this anymore.
In Nigeria, Liberia, and Gabon, several attempts by the government were made to put an end to the leopard societies. But these attempts failed until the groups just slowly died out on their own, just organically in the 20th century. In the 20th century, though.
Nice.
Jeez.
Yeah.
They made it a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you gotta go cosplay kitties like out on the in Africa,
It's a
like,
good idea.
and you get to drink blood and poop stew and
Poop stew.
do the cool like roar, like I kind of probably be in on that too.
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
you're in Africa, it's like, hey, is that Thundercats? No, run.
Yeah, that'd be pretty bad. So by the end of the 20th century, the society is just gone. But a lot of societies in Africa still believe they might rise again.
Like they're hoping?
Terrifying.
Are they afraid? Are they afraid it's going to rise again, or are they looking forward to it?
I feel like
I think they felt very conflicted. They respected them, but they feared them, but they were terrible.
But they respected him.
But they're just a part of life.
It's
Yeah.
like, look, son, they may save you from capture, or they could eat you. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's 50-50.
don't run afoul of them like any normal cat or leopard that you ever
Yeah.
come across.
Just
So,
feed
it's
them
just, like,
kibble.
treat them like a normal cat.
Give them some catnip.
Oh, by the way, guys, we have like a strike team of Angelas on the way here to
What does that
kinda wipe out
mean?
the whole site. So
Oh, no.
What? Like
Kitty
where we are?
Angelas
The whole
with
thing.
Leopard claws?
Kitty Angelas is not a thing. Please tell me that's not a thing.
well,
Kitty Angelas? Are there Kitty Angelas? I don't know. This
They
is,
have knives on their hands, and I don't want to like meet them.
Mercenaries, though.
yeah, I guess
Oh,
so.
well, if it's a strike team,
I
yeah,
mean,
they're
that's-
probably
yeah,
not.
that's
Yeah,
what
they're
they do.
trained and dangerous.
it's.
Yeah.
I
They're
know what's
teams that
going to
strike.
happen here. It's just standard procedure. All right, there's really nothing to worry about.
Sure.
Yeah, as long as we get out of here like right now.
Okay.
Oh, how are we
well,
gonna get out of here? I mean, he's half
Somebody's
dead.
got to pick me up. I
He's
can't
surrounded
walk.
by baby
It's
nurses.
mostly meat.
I could sling him on my shoulder and hodor him
Just
for a
put 'em
bit,
in
but
bag or something. I don't
my
know.
head.
oh yeah, let's just put him in a bag. I'll just swing
Like
him
a
over. man.
burlap or something. Yeah,
like Santa.
a to-go
Sack me.
bag.
Sack me.
Yeah, like a to-go box or something. Like,
Take home a sack, scoop some of that stuff. A lot of that we might need later.
Yeah, it's
so
probably
get some of
gonna-
that sinew and stuff like that. Just
yeah.
put that in the bag. We're gonna.
If not, it's just sauce. Like it's gonna like be good later.
No,
What's with you and
don't,
sauce? Oh, that's right.
don't eat my brains.
We don't plan to, but don't make me. Okay, don't make
This is
me.
47. Come in, Prime.
What?
Who's
The
it?
fuck is
Again with
What's
the?
with the speakers in this place?
Sounds like it's coming from my mind.
Yeah, the old Prime told me before I guillotined her ass. You guys are calling in the Atomic Angela to wipe out the nondescript hospital. That's in the TV? Are you in the TV?
They're in the TV with us.
What is
Oh,
even?
God.
Oh,
The
yeah,
other
well-
people can get in the
Shit,
TV. I thought it was only our dude.
I forgot we were in the TV.
How can you forget we're on a TV?
It's been a while.
It has been.
It's
a while.
not just the bomb. They're sending the Evangelas. All of them.
How many of them and what are
That
they? And I'm
sounds
scared.
Menacing.
Very menacing and punny.
Fuck.
And also secular.
I thought Eve 6 and 7 were working our angle on the future escape.
Like the band? The band Eve 6 is going to come and destroy all of us?
No, shut up. The X-Files episode.
What was the song they did?
You could
the Blender one? Yeah.
Here's to the night we thought we'd cry.
I have a
a
disgusting parody of that. I'll sing for you later.
Yeah. Okay.
Gross.
It's so
I
bad.
can't wait.
They've been recalled, and it looks like they brought back some of those red-blue future weapons. Like that one laser whip from Johnny Mnemonic.
Ooh,
That-
I always wanted to see that thing. Just not in my face.
Oh shit, yeah, that thing was cool.
It was.
And we can't count on Felix to us out of here. Who the fuck is doing that? What does it even mean at this point?
What is Kaz doing right now?
No idea.
Hey, what you doing, buddy?
What's up, guy? How you doing there, dude? You having some fun there? What you doing? You finger painting?
Wow,
Getting kinda
that's
artsy?
really pretty.
Nice.
We
It's very monochromatic.
kind of gotta get out of here, man.
A lot of red.
A lot of red.
Yeah.
A lot of red.
Gotta go.
Is this like
No, stop touching my head.
Is that like,
Ew,
is
wait,
it like
what is-
ancient symbols of arcane knowledge? It's some Cthulhu summoning.
Come on, I'm doing a thing.
What, yeah, but what are you doing?
Just riff and do a thing for a moment.
What is that
guy.
that he's painting with?
I know, it looks kind of thick and viscous.
Give him some time. He just said. What are you doing?
Aren't you dead yet?
What are you doing?
Okay, wait, but that's definitely blood. Is that Fritz's blood?
Ew.
Ooh, that's so.
I'm bleeding.
Yeah, you didn't know a whole lot.
much
I don't even
of
know
it.
if you have any blood left in you right now. You're like an empty balloon at this point.
Oh man, it's very metallic.
Is it?
Blech.
Is it?
What are you
Is it
chanting?
glowing a little
What's
bit?
going on?
This is weird. I mean, we've done a
Is this
lot
a
of weird
chant?
stuff. Is he just saying me? Spleeny, meanie,
Spleen.
weenie?
I heard
Spleen.
weenie.
Weenie, spleeny.
He said weenie roast.
Is this a ween song? Is he summoning ween?
Are you roasting weenies?
They're
Yeah.
amazing, man. I love them. But what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you
Beanie
making
weenies?
these weenie blending? What? Guys, it looks like he's fading. It looks like there's less Kaz than before. He's becoming sort of translucent.
Wait, weird.
This is, I mean, he's like disappearing or
How is he
something.
doing this?
And he's not allowed to do that. He's not allowed to get the hell out of here if we're not allowed to get out of here.
Kaz,
Hey, come back.
That's completely rude.
That's rude.
Kaz, come back.
So rude.
We didn't allow you to go.
All right, I got this, guys. There you go. That
Oh,
worked.
now he's back.
Nice.
There you go. That worked. What's going, buddy? What are you trying to do there? Are you trying to get out of here? Are you trying to do a
What
little
the
escapey
fuck,
rally,
man?
dude? What's up, dude? Trying to leave us?
I was going to get help. I was leaving
Were
to go
you?
get help.
Well,
I
why
was
didn't
gonna,
you tell us
You were
that?
going
I
to
was gonna
abandon us.
send help.
No,
back.
no, you weren't.
Bullshit.
I don't
I
want to be
call
strike teamed
BS.
by
No
the
one
Eve
wants to be
6.
strike team by Eve 6. You only have like 2 good
They
songs.
put your heart in a blender.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal. You trying to get back into your trance?
Oh, there he goes back again, trying to get all chanty and
Guys.
whatever with those finger
You know what?
painty
Actually, you
bloody.
guys are right. You guys are right. It's just probably we could probably.
Why can't we all just go get help, Kaz?
If we do a bigger blood painting, then we might all be able to fade away. Like
All right,
I was
you can
trying to
take
fade
my
away and
blood.
get out
You
of
can
here.
take my blood.
See what I did here? Start doing that around you guys. Like
Kaz.
get kind of a.
Kaz.
Yes.
What in the 1990s smash hit The Craft is going on right now?
Great.
I bind you, Kaz. What the hell's going on?
Light as a feather, stiff as a board. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. This is something I learned. I was, I'm a fan. I'm a student of the rave scene, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm a rave kid. And
It's obvious.
Drugs
It's
and
obvious.
loud music.
Pills, baby.
Hurt your head.
And you guys ever hear of the Temple of Psychic Youth?
How do you spell that?
The THEE space Temple. Figure that one out.
Okay.
OV.
Ooh.
Oh.
Kind of like churches with a V, churches.
Fancy.
And then psychic spelled with an H. So
Psychick.
Psychick.
Psychic.
Psychic.
PSYCHICK, and then youth. You can figure that one out on your own.
The Temple of Psychic
Psychic
Youth.
Youth.
Okay, whatever. What drugs are they on and where can I get some?
A
England.
lot, and pretty much anywhere. This is actually, didn't expect this story to be as in-depth and long as it's going to be, but bear with me. There's a lot of stuff here that I'm not even going to touch on, but I think I culled the most cool parts out of this. So the Temple of Psychic Youth was essentially an artist collective and loose conglomeration of self-described chaos magicians that formed in the early 80s
Like that.
from members of Psychic TV, which was a band, a group of musicians in England.
Oh, band.
Later members of the group Coil, Current 93, and other like-minded artists, fans, and psychedelia enthusiasts in the UK.
So it was like a consortium.
Correct, like an artist collective. The tale of the temple actually began several years earlier in the humble little country called the United States of America, where a man named William S. Burroughs was unleashing what would become the literary movement behind the Beat generation. Known to many as one of the founders of the beatnik or beat literature, Burroughs was also convinced that the reality that we experience as humans is largely dictated by magic, or to dissect a bit further, human intention. So you can kind of affect the world with your intention, which I really like. That's
I like
Yeah,
Burroughs
I
too.
love that.
Just
Naked
focused. Great book. Crazy movie.
So to quote the man himself, William S. Burroughs, in an interview with Stephen Davis, since the word magic tends to cause confused thinking, I would like to say exactly what I mean by magic, in the magical interpretation of so-called reality. The underlying assumption of magic is the assertion of will as the primary moving force in the universe. The deep conviction that nothing happens unless somebody or some being wills it to happen. Very cool. To me, this has always been self-evident. From the viewpoint of magic, no death, no illness, no misfortune, accident, war, or riot is accidental. There are no accidents in the world of magic. William S. Burroughs.
Is this magic with a K?
No, that's with a C.
Oh.
I kept picturing it with a K too.
Yeah, it just seemed like it would be.
Yeah.
White magic, black magic.
Magic.
Gray magic.
Yep.
This type of intention or will-based influence is something that the temple founders and followers sought to explore both through their music and their deliberate attempts to subvert the ways that our communication is being codified by the man. So we're going to be quoting heavily from Dan Seatman's amazing article on... Seatman! Where you at, baby? On popmatters.com, this article is called Acid Testing, the Modern Revival of Psychic TV and the Temple of Psychic Youth.
Great website.
Fantastic website, fantastic article. This is literally like a dissertation on this band, cult, whatever you want to call it. Seatman says, or in his article, the intention of Psychic Youth was to create an anti-Muzak, M-U-Z-A-K, capable of jamming the transmission sent by civilization's institution of brainwashing and submission, church, state, and above all, corporatized media.
So Muzak is the company that makes the elevator-based music.
Is that there's a company? I just thought that was like the term for
No, it's
that
actual
stuff.
music. It's actual trademark term.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of both now. It's kind of like Google. You know, you can use Google as a noun and a verb. It's like Muzak.
Okay.
Wow.
The influence of Psychic TV from a musical standpoint is only recently being brought to the mainstream as the attention shifts from the origins of acid house, psych rock, and witch house. And
Fuck, yeah.
these are kind of early precursors to what you would consider like modern kind of EDM rave type stuff. Or whatever.
IDM too. That's what Orlando had. Intelligent
IDM.
dance music. Had a whole scene here and everything.
What?
Back in the early 90s.
Like you did math while you danced, you know.
Yeah, right.
Everyone's on their like TI-83 calculators.
Doing formulas.
Doing cosine
Yeah.
and sine, doing it.
Fuck, I'm just using this to play that bowling game.
Limits. Love the limits.
It's important here to make the distinction that while historians consider the true origins of acid house to have its roots in Chicago in the 80s with artists like Lil Louis, Future, Phuture, Adonis, and Mr. Fingers, These artists were.
Mr. Finger.
That's a good.
Yeah.
That's
Wait,
the name.
let's go back to Mr. Fingers.
I actually listened to some on the way up here, and it's what you would expect. It's like kind of the early but
Yeah.
like with cool like overlay stuff. It's cool.
I'm so intrigued.
So these early acid house artists were actually surprised to hear that the quote unquote acid movement was picking up steam in places like England, India, and Goa, which is Goa is like a big like dance kind of rave scene, and abroad. And in truth, a lot of the initial psychic TV sound was supposedly created without knowledge of these Chicago-based bands. So they kind of almost developed in different silos.
It was an organic movement.
Correct.
What is exactly acid? Is it just a fusion of the different genres? Like, is that defined?
Yeah, I would say I don't know. To me, it doesn't necessarily belie like LSD like consumption
just like a
of
heavy beat
it's
or
just
something, maybe?
something to
Early
differentiate.
industrial.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Something to
That would make sense.
differentiate that industrial acid. That kind of like grimy, metallic, whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Good.
When I think acid, that's what I think.
So both of these movements essentially develop themselves, independent of each other. But the core tenet being the desire to kind of disconnect from the rat race and explore the depths of the mind through esotericism and/or drugs,
Yeah.
Drugs.
However you get there.
MDMA. The majority of the anxiety that the general public media felt around the psychic TV movement was centered around the inclusion of occult symbology that surrounded the music and art collective. Dan Seatman also speaks to this. The ritual known as invocation is one tool of the chaos magic with a K.
There it is.
I was, that's,
I sounded like when you said it, I could tell.
invocation. I was like, what?
It sounds magic.
Is that a K?
It's a tool modeled on this concept. Invocation is undertaken by the magician to harvest either single behavioral attributes or, out of a whole cloth, an entirely new character. For external viewers, this resembles role-playing. The magician first idealizes a real or imagined archetype, a god form, and then imitates its desired dispositions with such fervor that they turn the corner from merely mimicking affectations to directly channeling the persona. One's body and mind are opened up as invited vessels for the possession of an outside entity. Indeed, one purpose of chaos rituals is to create beliefs by acting as though such beliefs were true. You fake it till you make it, to obtain the power that a belief can provide. So we go back to that William S. Burroughs thing, like they are using their intention and their will to kind of try to like push things forward.
Not too differently from prayer
Yep.
in religion.
Like a way more rad form of prayer, though. You're not just
Yeah.
asking. You're like, all right, we're doing this right
Yeah.
now. Come on.
Yeah.
well, that would be kind of more
Get
like
in me and we're doing this.
that would be more of a tulpa, like
Yes, exactly.
Almost, yeah.
an actual thought manifestation and making something happen from your own.
That's
your
all
own
magic.
vessel.
Yeah.
All magic right
Yeah,
there.
that is. Yeah.
And then to kind of go back to their initial discussion of what they were pushing for was this disillusionment or this, disillusion of the codified language of the corporate media, and they're trying to
Fight
get
the man.
people get people to stop being quote unquote brainwashed by these tools of the man. So this cult-like atmosphere that surrounded the band and its fan club pervaded the media attention that they received, and ultimately led to their vilification. To quote, the Temple of Psychick Youth International Youth Network presented to outsiders as a cult with militant aspirations, though in actuality their unifying feature was way less revolutionary fervor than a wide-eyed affinity for Genesis P-Orage, which is like a pun, right? Porridge, P-Orage.
Yeah.
Hodgepodge of esoteric ideas and tactics strung together from chaos magic. Temple of Psychick Youth was also dissembled as a musical subculture, doubling in the public eye as the Psychic TV fan club, whose members espoused fanatical devotion to the band. Of course, behind the scenes, the reverse held true. Temple of Psychick Youth's machinations were prioritized, while Psychic TV provided the media-facing agitprop. I've never read that word before.
Yeah. So
what is that?
agitprop is agitated propaganda, and that's what John
This
Lennon
guy.
used for a lot of his songs, like "Instant Karma's Gonna Get You."
Yeah.
So like agitprop is like, if this happens, then your workers will turn on you. Don't do that. Or it's like loose lips sink ships, but it's usually like you're gonna kill everyone if you do this one thing. Don't do it.
Hard slogan type
Yeah, it's
stuff.
sloganeering definitely, but it's a very
Sloganeering.
Wow.
it's a
Learning
very
all types of shit
Yeah.
today,
So
aren't
many
we?
wrinkles in the brain.
agitprop. Yeah, it's a cool
Nice.
little portmanteau of agitated propaganda.
Portmanteau.
Portmanteau, is that how you pronounce it?
Whoa.
Psychic TV provided a media-facing agitprop and a hype machine in support of the Temple's objectives to weaponize the techniques of chaos magic and experiment with them in the test tube of 80s subculture. By 1991, Temple of Psychic Youth professed to have 10,000 members in its ranks, expanding from the original home base in Brighton, England, to bastions all across the Western world. To accommodate this surge, a larger governing structure came about, access points, as small redoubts for disciples to disseminate radical Temple of Psychic Youth literature and art among the unsuspecting public, and stations that oversaw entire territories of acolytes such as Australia. And then so they started to abbreviate Temple of Psychic Youth as TOPY, T-O-P-Y.
Oh,
so
cute.
Australia
Toppy.
was Toppy Chaos. North
Toppy
America.
Chaos.
Oh my God, that's adorable.
Oh, that's a good, yeah.
Hello, I'm Toppy Chaos. Hello.
Hey, man, daddy, I'm Fritz.
North America was Toppy NA. And there were other various ones. Yeah, it's pretty lame. Maybe we can come up with better. Contrary to other youth movements, which instilled fear and loathing in the Thatcher-Reagan managerial class, which is the 80s, kind of the man. The 80s,
Yeah.
the man.
That was the man.
And also woman, ironically enough.
Correct. Margaret. What up, girl?
She's dead. She can't hear you. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, we should,
Through chaos
The
magic, she can.
intention is
Yeah.
there. She
Thank
feels
you
it.
very
go.
much. The construction of the myth was the whole point. Akin to Aleister Crowley and other occultists of yore, they summoned for onlookers. They needed this attention. The appearance of the insurgent factions using viral branding that encompassed hairstyle, fashion, and a striking design profile. Temple of Psychic Youth drew beguiling parallels with other fearsome outside factions already in the public imagery, including Jim Jones's People's Temple, Charles Manson's The Family, and most pointedly, Robert de Grimston's The Process Church, parentheses, of the Final Judgment.
Oh, this sounds grim.
From 1981 to 1987, Temple of Psychic Youth's partisans sported coordinated signifiers ranging from military combat dress and priestly garb to elongated rat tails, but above all, the network's identifying icon was the Psychic Cross, developed from the Papal Cross with new pagan affectations. Porridge mused, from the Process Church, we saw the need for a logo, a symbol, so I designed the Psychic Cross, a symbol that seems really familiar so that people could find it easy to adopt into their personal mythology.
Genius.
And actually, I will say that this is a gender non-binary person. So this is a
They.
Correct. And
Thank you for saying that, by the way.
And they were like that way before the curve.
correct.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I wanted to get into. But in terms of sound, Psychic TV adopted their unique instrumentation, as Dan Seatman describes. In lieu of writing the resonance filter of the TB303 to create the trademark squelch, Psychic TV replaced the 303 on their album called Jack the Tab, which is a lot of people point to as like the seminal kind of like initial thing that started their love of acid house, witch house, that type of stuff.
TB303, like a Roland 303?
I believe so. Yes, it's a synth. I don't know exactly what the different companies are because I'm not a nerd. So
Yeah, I wonder.
Wow.
Yeah, you are.
I wonder if
Just a different type.
was orange juice a part of this movement or no?
you were telling me about orange juice the other day. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Orange juice?
Yeah, orange juice was Edwin Collins. Never met a girl like you before. That was his band,
Oh, okay.
and they took a Roland 303 and they circuit bended it and made like a really cool like squelchy like bass tone from it. So that's cool.
Squelch is
Squelch.
the way that Dan Seatman describes it. He says basically failed attempt to imitate a funk style bass.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Boom.
Just as bizarre was Jack the Tab's percussion. Rather than mimic the acid drum machine's kick, hi-hat, syncopated sparseness, the record relies instead on mushy samples of acoustic drums
Oh,
with a booming on-beat snare aesthetic. Again, more industrial than your standard like dainty kind of like crisp sound.
so instead of like low bass, it's just a snare hitting you right in the fucking forehead.
Just that angry industrial feel, and that's what, and that the clanging sounds, the chaos sounds.
So in addition to their, the synth and the drums that they put into it, they also, one of the concepts for this kind of acid house music style was the usage of an unsettled layering of samples with psychedelic connections in popular culture, spoken word, television, and film clips ranging from The Trip, Roger Corman, 1967, Wild Angels, 66, and hippie figurehead Ken Kesey. So they had a bunch of cool spoken word stuff with these weird industrial kind of like, it's cool. It's interesting. Like
I wonder if playing samples is an element of acid because White Zombie,
They were one of the first bands that really started using the audio samples.
Faster Pussycat, kill.
Yeah, because all the early industrial all had that. When you think about, listen to Ministry,
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's always been a part of it.
So, as with all this cool, rad shit that like people do. The man got wind, and he wanted to shut it down. So Genesis P. Orridge was the kind of figurehead of the movement and was subsequently the kind of target of the attempts to drive them, out of the mainstream, as mainstream as they got, out of the public eye. So to quote another article, Orridge said they had never wanted to be the leader of an occult order, although many of those in Topi were frustrated that outsiders regularly saw them as the leader of this group. Accordingly, they separated from Topi, T-O-P-Y, it's Temple Ov Psychick Youth, in 1991, although it continued to fan continuity after their departure.
Because it was badass.
Having been encouraged by Christian groups involved in propagating the moral panic
Not badass.
about alleged satanic ritual abuse, the Channel 4 1992 documentary show Dispatches claims to have discovered videotapes depicting P. Orridge sexually abusing children in a ritual setting.
What?
Police from the Obscene Publication Squad subsequently...
The
right?
Obscene Publication Squad.
Obscene Publication
Please
Squad.
send in the Obscene Publication Squad.
Ops.
Right, what's all this then?
Ops.
Is that what it is? Ops?
Well,
It is
obscene
ops.
public. Yeah.
Ops.
Them ops.
Ops.
Ops. Always with the ops, man. Subsequently raided P. Orridge's home and confiscated several tons, T-O-N-N-E-S, so cutely British.
Oh.
You want to say like tones, the way
Tones.
it's
Tones.
the way that's
Tones.
spelled.
Aluminium.
Aluminium.
Thank you for that.
Favorite.
At the time, P. Orridge was in Thailand undertaking famine relief work. Fearing arrest and loss of child custody upon returning to the UK, P. Orridge stayed out of the country for several years, settling in the United States. They believe that the negative press and police attention were the result of a vendetta conceived by a right-wing fundamentalist Christian group. It was subsequently revealed that the footage obtained did not depict child abuse. Instead, it was a video artwork titled First Transmission that had been made in the early 1980s, partially funded by Channel 4 themselves.
Whoa!
The footage,
What?
the footage depicted sex magic rites between adults, bloodletting performances, and scenes of the filmmaker Derek Jarman reading passages from the work of Geoffrey Chaucer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Embarrassed by these revelations, Channel 4 retracted their initial accusation.
Fuck Channel
And how
4.
long did it take him?
Several,
Too long.
it just says several years.
Damn. Because I remember when a lot of this was going on.
They've got blood on their hands.
It's a
That can end someone's life.
It's a smear job,
Yeah.
for sure. It's a
Yeah.
smear job. But thankfully, this person, Genesis P. Orridge, is, like I said, extremely well-spoken, extremely intelligent. And one of the things, I'll read this, I really liked it. They're still alive to this day, born in the 50s, I think. Somebody interviewed them when they went to New York City in 2016. We realized the best response was to just go to America and very quietly prove that wasn't what we were like. Just let people learn by themselves that we were intelligent, articulate, thoughtful, loving people, and that in the end, that would deflate everything else. And it did.
That's a great story.
So yeah, there's so much more about this. I wish we could go on and on about it, but it's a very intriguing, interesting.
Splinters in so many different groups. They
Exactly.
were involved with, just television was involved with them somehow, and then they had connections to the Golden Dawn ministry. I mean, there's just so much that whole early '90s industrial acid movement just got into and created their own little cult in a way. Really.
I wonder if anyone here in Orlando has any kind of connection
Oh,
or
I'm sure.
affiliation with Genesis.
If you do, then let us know because we are extremely interested. And we might honestly go back to this because this is an extremely cool story and it has, like you said, so many splinters, goes off in so many different directions. It'd be really tough to get them all, but
Orlando had a huge IDM
I'm about
movement.
to just get back out of it.
It's crazy how big that we were in the electronic music, and then it got shut down thanks to Glenda Hood.
Glenda Hood.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Cass?
I'm just trying to get out of here and not even be around.
Why are you messing
Dude,
with my
he's doing the
blood
thing
again?
again. He's doing the chaos magic
You're gonna
again.
leave us.
Come on,
You're
dude.
gonna
I
leave
said
us.
get in the thing. If you want to get in the thing, get in the thing
We
with
need
me.
a
But
lot more blood. We need a lot more blood.
Man, Dad,
Ew.
Angela, he's playing with my blood again.
No, because it
just
is
get
fun.
in
It is
the
fun,
circle and play in the blood with me.
Get into the circle.
Can somebody
Like a
drag
metal
me-
concert.
Gross.
Somebody drag me into this.
in this
chaos
magic circle right now.
I just wet socked myself in his blood. I just wet socked in the
Ew.
blood.
Why don't you have your shoes on?
Because it's so comfy in this hospital right now.
Chaos
It's got-
magic, man.
Chaos magic makes me comfy, man. It's chaos.
Well, then
with-
take them all the
it
way
makes
off.
me
You're gonna
comfy
go
with a
chaos
K.
magic, no shoes but socks. Like,
Yeah, going into the
Jesus.
next world that way, man. Do my thing.
Can somebody please get me face up?
No,
No, we need you to.
This is how that
This is
works.
the blood.
You're fine.
Yeah,
You're fine. Yeah.
Blood's really working right now. All of this is great. And actually, if you've noticed, we're swooshing. I did it. See, it's my intention, my will.
Look, I can see through your hand.
What's going on? Ov Psychick